Okay, so today we're going to continue with polynomials and we're going to talk about adding polynomials, which honestly is the same thing we were doing yesterday, except instead of it being like one large polynomial that you're simplifying, in this case, it's going to be two separate polynomials that you're adding together, but in reality, it's the same thing. So it should kind of be like a freebie lesson. Okay, so for example, if you have 3m plus 7, and then I give you this polynomial, which is 5m plus 9, we're going to do exactly what we did yesterday, which is just combine our like terms. So what would be 3m plus 5m? 8m. And then 7 plus 9 is 16. It's literally the same thing, I promise. Okay, so let's look together like at number 2. Okay, so we have this polynomial has an x squared, this polynomial has a 3x squared. So if you have an x squared and then I give you 3 more x squareds, altogether you're going to have 4x squared. Okay, and then if you have negative 5x and we subtract another 8x's, right? So you have negative 5 plus negative 8 would be negative 13x. Okay, and if you really want to write that as plus negative 13, that's absolutely fine. Okay, I want to show you one other way to add these. Some people love this and think it's so much easier. We're going to do subtraction tomorrow, and knowing how to do this can kind of help with subtraction. So all I'm going to do is essentially write these in columns, like when you're doing multi-digit addition, like what you've done since elementary school. So I'm going to take this one. Oops. All my pens are dying. I'm going to take that one and I'm going to write it underneath. So 2x squared minus 4x and then minus 8. Okay? So do y'all see how it kind of just looks like a regular, like forget about this stuff being over here. So now it kind of, or not that, this. So now it just looks like a regular addition problem. Like if you were to add like 452 plus 809, right? You just stack them on top of each other. And now we're just going to add together the like terms. So negative 3 plus negative 8 is negative 11. X minus 4x would be negative 3x, right? Because this is like a 1. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. And 2x squared plus 2x squared is 4x squared. Okay, you do not have to use columns. Some people love columns. You might decide tomorrow when we do subtraction that you like or prefer columns, but it's really up to you. Okay, number 4. Let's look at it. So I have 15x squareds in this. This is 2 terms, so that's called a binomial. And this is 3 terms, it's a trinomial. So if I have this binomial, right, and it has a 15x squared, are there any other x squareds over here I can put with it? Yes, that one right there. So altogether, I'm going to have 16x squared. Okay, now I'm still trying to put it in descending order like I did yesterday. So this over here has a 4x. Are there any other plain x's over here? Nope. So it's just going to stay plus 4x. And then I have at the end, I have this negative 12 plus 8. So they're different signs, subtract. 12 minus 8 is 4. The bigger absolute value is negative, so minus 4. And then same thing on number 5. Actually, why don't you pause it and try number 5 on your own, and then come back and check and see if you get it right. Okay, hopefully you paused it and you're back. So if we're going to combine our like terms, x squared plus x squared would be 2x squared. And then I have 7x minus x is 6x. And then I have negative 12 plus 1 is minus 11. Right? So if I'm taking away 12 and then adding 1, that's the same thing as subtracting 11. And that's your final answer. We're not combining it. You can't simplify it anymore because none of these are like terms because this is an x squared. This is just an x. Okay, very last, or not last. Sorry, got ahead of myself. It says write the perimeter of the figure below. So the perimeter is just the sum of all the sides, right? So if I am looking at number 6, okay, and I'm having to add all of these polynomials up. So I have x plus 4 plus x plus 3 plus x plus 4 plus x plus 6. How many x's do I have altogether? I have 4 of them. And then if I'm adding together my constants, I have 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 6 is 17. Right, and this would have been a good option for columns, right? I could have done x plus 3 plus x plus 4 plus x plus 6 plus x plus 4 again. 3, 7, 13, 17. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. Okay, and then I have this triangle. And actually, I'm going to set this one up as columns. So I have 2x minus 1. And then I have 2x plus 5. And then I just have x with nothing over here. And I'm going to add all these together. Okay, so -1. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a 0 here as like a placeholder. So -1 plus 5 is 4, right? If you're subtracting 1 and adding 5 all together, you're adding 4. And then I have 2x plus 2x is 4x plus another one is 5x. And that would be my final answer. Okay, I do want you now to pause and try 8 and 9, and then come back and we'll check your answers again. Okay, you're back. So 3x squared plus x squared is 4x squared. And then I should have 10x minus 12x is -2x. And then is there anything in this binomial over here to put with this constant of 5? Nope, so it's just plus 5. And then last but not least, number 9. Okay, so 7c squared. Are there any c squareds on this one? No, so it's just 7c squared. And then over here, I have 8c. Are there any c's on this first one? Nope, so it's just plus 8c. Okay, and then the last thing I have is I have 10 negatives and 4 positives. So altogether, that's -6. Okay, so that's adding polynomials. And so today your homework looks just like yesterday. This is probably how all your homework is gonna look for this polynomials unit. And so we're doing exactly what we did on your homework, where you're just going to add them together. So if you need to use scratch paper, that's fine, but we wanna make sure that we're writing all of our answers down on these lines right here. So on this one, I would say, well, 4x squared plus 2x squared is 6x squared. And then -7x minus 3x would be minus 10x. And then 5 minus 8 would be minus 3. And that would be it. So just make sure that you're writing your answers clearly on these lines, and that's due for you guys tomorrow.